Oh, man, we here. The rest of it is old news, man. Y'all put them fours up. This is week 4. I remember in football, man, we had to put them fours up for fourth quarter. So y'all put them fours up. This is week 4. Week 4 in the cocoon, and we're growing and we're elevating. We are embracing resistance so we can build our resilience. The time is now, man. We're growing. We elevating. And so in this week, what we want to be able to do, we want to be able to grow, right? Grow and elevate. And I've been hearing this word toxic a lot, you know, toxic environment. My boy was even hitting me talking about, oh man, you know, I've been applying the information, but I'm in a toxic environment, man. I got some toxic things around me, and I don't want to disregard somebody else's reality. So today, what we're going to deal with is building resilience, right, through toxic situation, and what we gonna do to overcome. All right, I want to give a story though, real quick. I want to give a story because there was a story about a man who loved butterflies. And remember, we in the cocoon right now, but there was a man who loved butterflies, and one day he was walking through the park and he seen a cocoon, and he wanted to sit and just observe the cocoon. So as he was sitting, he seen that the butterfly was in the cocoon, and the butterfly was struggling, right? He was thinking like, man, the butterfly struggling to get out the cocoon. Allow me to help the butterfly. Just being a good-hearted civilian. Oh, let me help. I want to help the butterfly break out of the cocoon. So he went back to the car and grabbed a pair of scissors, and he started cutting at the cocoon, helping the butterfly get out of the cocoon. And as the butterfly was getting out of the cocoon, now that he has cut the cocoon open, he noticed that the butterfly wings were kind of small and it had a bigger lower body, different from what he has seen from butterflies, because he is infatuated with butterflies. He loves butterflies. And as he noticing the butterfly is now, you know, breaking out of the cocoon, now that he has cut it open out of the cocoon, prematurely though, you know, the butterfly automatically falls to the ground. It falls to the ground because its wing is short and it has this bigger lower body. The butterfly survives, I would say, about an hour to 2 hours because it's not able to function as it was designed, because someone else prematurely helped him out of his struggle when the struggle was everything that it needed to grow in that environment, so its wings could be good and strong and it could develop the rest of its body so it could fly, go get food, and do as it needed to function as a butterfly. I gotta make this make sense for us real quick. Oftentimes we're looking to get out of toxic situations without building what we need mentally and physically in order for us to grow the characteristics through adversity that we need to take us to the next level so we can fly. What I mean by that is that, guess what? In life, if we really want to get to the bag, if we really going to horn in and focus on our gifts, the one thing that we have to understand is in life, they pay for problem solvers. And we have to be great problem solvers. And if somebody is always helping us through situations and we don't know how to solve the issues that we're growing through, then how we gonna make it in life, family? And that's why sometimes healthy altercations is beautiful, right? And we're gonna get into the mathematics today of how the man is the 360 and the woman is the 720, and what that looks like in the supreme knowledge. And that does come from, you know, my Uncle Zam and some of the elders that I had a chance to sit around, and I'm gonna give y'all that. But understand this though too, family, that the storms of the sea is what make a great sailor. I hope you really following what I'm saying, right? In order to be a great sailor, you got to be able to get through the storms of the sea. That's how you able to navigate. You feel me? I'm gonna parallel that with a story that took place in the Bible when they was talking about Jesus. I want to say there was a storm going around and he was on the boat and they was trying to wake him up, you know, saying that, oh my goodness, you know, how can you sleep when the storm is going on? It's because he had a chance to grow through so much and be in a perfect alignment with the Creator that he already knew, man, my faith's so strong that there's nothing to worry about. Everything is gonna be okay. He had built a level of resilience that he could weather the storm. He was a great sailor. All right. And that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to break this all the way down so we can walk away empowered today, family. So one of the things I am going to highlight is self-awareness. Okay. Let's be honest about the environment that we in and how did we get in the environment? Who's playing a part of the environment? Because guess what? We have to have a level of accountability, right? Oftentimes, whatever that is, we've drawn ourselves to these environments. I don't care if it's a relationship, if it's a job, we put ourselves there, right? I'm gonna say a job because you had to fill out the application, you had to grow through an interview process, and you said that you were gonna be X, Y, and Z. Oh, I can do this, I can do that. And then you were placed with some adversity on the job, and now you want to say that it's toxic. No, you've placed yourself there. So in order to grow, you have to have a level of self-awareness and accountability to yourself, right? Now let's develop some gifts. Let's take account of what's going on and how can I really and truly elevate in the situation. Like, I want to give you one, okay? I want to give you one. I had a boss, right? I'm not going to say his name, but I was the first African-American service advisor for Audi of Huntsville. And because of it, I had to deal with a lot of challenges. I was dealing with a situation with a boss because he didn't like my position because the owner had placed me there. I didn't fill out an application. So they would always say that I was a friend of the owner. And sometimes people don't like that when you have that favor on your life, right? So he would put me in the most difficult situations when it came to insurance claims. When people don't want to do that paperwork, he would give me those clients. Like, I'm talking about literally just throw it on my desk. And I could have got real fussy, but I knew that if I could grow through this and knew how to do proper paperwork, I could articulate myself and handle myself very well, that it was going to grow me later on in life when I became a business owner. In that situation, what I had to be able to grow through was learning the discipline that it took and recognizing myself that, guess what? I know that they're trying to place adversity and challenges in my way, but if I embrace this will be a skill set that I can take with me. And guess what? The manager, he doesn't even have it. So now it's going to put me in a level of authority, right? To where is that I'm needed in these situations, whether you know it or not, because you're throwing it on my desk. And when I take care of 3 or 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 of them, and you still struggling with that one, and I can do it with ease and a breeze, then that means that I should really and truly be the manager of the store. You feel what I'm saying? I've elevated myself through service, through self-awareness. And in that moment, I could have got fussy. But what I did was I took the challenge to grow me and elevate me in a skill set. And now I put myself in a position where is that I'm superior because now you really and truly need me. You don't know how to do a claim. So the days when I take off and you got them piled up because you really and truly don't know how to do it, guess what? Now I'm able to recognize that, and I see like, oh, okay, so now I can take this skill set and I can go down here to Mercedes-Benz. Now I can go down here to Porsche, and I can be an asset and not a liability. And then it grew me to where I was number 3 in the US. Like, we was running it, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, let me take it here for you in another situation when I'm talking about self-awareness. Self-awareness when you're in a toxic relationship, right? Let's go to relationships because a lot of people are in toxic relationships, as they say. I like to say when you are self-aware, look at the basis and what the relationship was built on. Like, just ask yourself, right? Because oftentimes there's no true bond in relationships. We will trauma bond. Let me tell you what I mean by trauma bonding. You will have a certain dislike and this person will have another dislike, and y'all share that dislike in common, and y'all will bond through the trauma of y'all having a dislike. So now that's what you talk about, and that's what y'all building the relationship off of, a dislike, trauma bonding. Me and my brother talk about that. You feel me? He'll let it be known, like, you know, his players sometimes, because you don't like this coach or you don't like this coach, y'all share this same common interest of not liking a coach. So now y'all come together and y'all talk about the coach that y'all don't like. When that's so unhealthy, you created a toxic situation. You created a toxic environment for yourself. And guess who has the ability to cut that off? You do. You do. You do. By the way that you change your bond, right? By the way that you look at the situation. And that's why we have to have a level of self-awareness, family, so we can be accountable and know that we can control these toxic environment or these toxic situations that we in if we just look at them differently through self-awareness. Now we're gonna go on to the next point. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, I gotta give it to you, right? Patience, okay? Patience. While that butterfly was in the cocoon, right? The man who was observing it from the story that I gave y'all, he prematurely cut the butterfly out, right? Even though the butterfly was struggling and it may have wanted to get out, but in the cocoon, in that isolation, if he hadn't have been there with his good-hearted self, the butterfly had to experience a level of patience, because that patience was a virtue, and through the struggle, it was going to build everything in him inside, so that way when he came out, he'll be able to fly the way he needs to. And us as humans, we have to have patience, family. Let me tell you why patience is a virtue, okay? I'm going to take it back to the job that I was at. If I would have prematurely been like, man, forget this, I'm out, I quit, I would have ruined a relationship with the owner based on his employee when, bro, you didn't hire me. So you don't have the right to fire me. Honestly, you're not in a position to fire me, right? The only person that can fire me is myself. And so what I have to look at it as is, let me grow a level of patience, right? Because it's going to grow character in me, and I can grab a skill set that I can take with me anywhere, right? And now I'm empowered. I'm going to give y'all one more scenario, right? I wanted to actually walk away after somebody made a racial slur to me. My emotions had got in the way. Remember, we talked about emotional barriers. That's why we got to control our emotions. And if I would have quit right then and there, not only would I have ruined a relationship with the owner, right? But then also commitment, right? When we really and truly sign up and we make a commitment to do certain things. Inky had gave me this one time, right? A real man or woman, when you sign up to do something, you got to see it all the way through the end. I don't care what it is, because you're going to deal with difficult times and you have to grow, right? Because the true commitment is doing what you say you're going to do long after the feeling you said it in has left. Don't you understand that when I say, oh, I love my wife, we're going to get married and we go through the wedding after the honeymoon stage, don't you know that's when the problems are going to hit after that honeymoon stage, after we grow through that? Because the devil is looking to attack. Let me tell you how well the devil, that low energy, I don't care what name you put on it. All right. That low energy and the low vibration, you're going to be tested so you can pass the test, just like in school. We have to be able to pass the test in life so we can grow those characteristics, so we can be problem solvers. And ultimately, what we need to understand is that sometimes it's not even for you. It's for you to grow through that so you can be the light in another situation to help somebody else. We so selfish at times, man. We so selfish. And that's why we have to have a level of patience so we can grow through things and give that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the next generation from what we've actually grown through. Not just reading certain things in text or me hearing it from somebody else and then I want to regurgitate it to you when I really and truly don't have that spirit of overcoming, right? We have to be able to overcome. And that's where patience will allow us the discipline that we need to overcome and build or embrace the resistance that we need so we can build our resilience. And so the third thing that I want to get into is support, but not enabling somebody. I talk to my wife about this all the time. I have to be a good coach and not a slave driver. And also I have to be a great help and I can't coddle you, right? I have to be able to let you develop the skill sets that you need or that another individual need. And I don't want to coddle you through a situation. I'm going to say this and I hope nobody take this the wrong way. Have you ever seen a mama's boy? Like a straight up boy who been on the titty for just too long, right? Don't you know that his mama coddling him in life, not allowing him to grow through certain situations, that you just ruined that child? So now he doesn't have emotional intelligence. He doesn't have conflict resolution skills. He doesn't know how to deal with life. So when he gets with a woman, right, in order to be the foundation of the family, a man or a family is interdependent on each other, which means that you will have a woman who's independent and a man who's dependent. So now she can't depend on her man. And how do you think a family is going to function when she can't depend on the protector and the provider? Come on, family. I'm trying to make it make sense in real life. Just like with the butterfly, we can't coddle people. We can't, we don't want to enable people, but what we want to be able to do is to provide a support. You feel me? Because now we're being toxic to somebody else when we're thinking, oh, I'm just being a good-hearted Samaritan and I just want to help. When honestly, what I did was I just enabled you. And oftentimes that's what's taking place, family. And now that's why I want to highlight why healthy altercations is so important in life and we shouldn't run from it. All right. Some people deal with things by not dealing with things, and that's not always good. You feel me? Like the bully situation I talked about once before. Don't you understand that? And sometimes you got to go ahead and throw down and whoop the bully, because if you don't whoop the bully, he will keep picking at you because you keep running. And when you run and you avoid him, don't you know you fuel his fire? You pumping gas in his tank. Because if he be like, oh man, I want to fight you, brother, this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. If you be like, oh no, I don't want to fight, or he see that you nervous and you timid and you avoid the fight, now you just feel the way he gonna go ahead and he gonna hit you. But if you go ahead and stand up, and when he stand up, you flare up too, it kind of put that whoa in his mind, right? To where now he kind of second guessing, and you gotta stand up sometimes for yourself. You gotta deal with healthy altercations. And we're gonna break down why healthy altercations is so important. So that way we know how to articulate ourselves, because when that emotion hit us, oftentimes we don't know what to say. And have you ever walked away from an altercation and saying, man, I wish I would have said or would have did? That's where constantly dealing with those altercations, it'll help you build the resistance that you need. So now when I'm able to overcome the first challenge, like how I did in 3rd grade, when I whooped the bully, now I feel like I'm tough and I'm ready to fight because now I know I got hands. And that's how it is when we're dealing with healthy altercations. Once we're able to overcome that first one, the second one gets easier. The third one gets easier. The fourth one gets easier. And then guess what? We become the go-to person in whatever our field and our niche is, because like I said from the beginning, we become problem solvers. And when you become problem solvers and you're that go-to person, that's how you get paid. They pay for problem solvers, family. And that's a special gift that I want to give y'all today, is how we're going to be problem solvers. Another thing that I want to highlight when we're talking about problem solving and when we're talking about healthy altercations is how it builds confidence. And it turns into that Godfidence, right? Because you know what's inside of you. Building confidence successfully, resolving altercations, reinforce that self-efficiency, the belief in one's ability to manage challenges. So resolving those healthy altercations, it builds that confidence or that Godfidence that we need. And we don't just go through situations, we're growing through them and we're rooted in it, and people can really and truly feel our spirit. That's why those healthy altercations are beneficial, family, and we can't avoid them. We need to grow through them. That's why I say let's go and let's grow, because we're not just going to G-O through our situations. We're going to G-R-O-W through our situations, so we can build that spirit that we need, and we can give that to the next generation, as I said, and somebody else, they're going to feel it. And family, I know I've been keeping y'all for 10, 15. The last one was 20 minutes, and I know these videos I said was only going to be 3 or 4 minutes. So I'm going to leave y'all with this, because we got to get into some of the supreme mathematics, all right, on how the man is 360 and the woman is a 720. I have to leave you empowered, family. I want to give y'all some of this God body knowledge, all right? Embrace it for me real quick. So 360 degrees of the man. In the 5% of nation, a man achieves 360 degrees, referring to being complete in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. This represents a full cycle, symbolizing completeness in one's intellectual and spiritual self. This complete circle encompasses the man's mastery of his mental and physical reality, aligning with the supreme mathematics, where 360 degrees signifies perfection and totality in a personal journey to understanding themselves and the universe. That's why when you go to Egypt, on the temples is wrote, "Man, know thyself," right? Because man must know thyself. It's so important if we're going to be in this universe, and if we're going to build collectively and cohesively, family, kingdoms like we talked about the ant, but also that self-mastery that's needed like the eagle, okay? And as you see the 360 degrees in the supreme mathematics, I'm telling y'all, I'm going to make it all make sense for us, and we're going to be practical, all right? So let's get into the 720 of the woman, the female, and how powerful the divine is, the true creator. But I'm going to hold that for another time. The 720 degrees of the woman attributes to women as an extension of this completeness. It includes not only the initial 360 degrees, representing her knowledge and understanding of the physical realm, but also an additional 360 degrees that signifies her mastery over her emotional and spiritual essence. This dual completeness uncovers her role of women as creators of life and nurturers of civilization, emphasizing her elevated status of the earth in the supreme mathematics and the sacred responsibility they hold as life givers. So this means that the woman is the source of life itself, right? Our source between the heaven and the unseen world. The only way that we get life is through the female, okay? So we have to all understand the power that we have, and that's why we need to understand that environment is key. And what we doing here, family, is growing and elevating. So know that whatever situation that you're in, you have the power within you to grow. For my men, we got to be able to grab the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so we can turn around and give that to the next generation. For my females, the source of life itself. Do not think that you, right, cannot overcome any situation that you in, knowing that you can't elevate, because baby girl, you can. Sweetheart, you can. I promise you, you can. As the giver of life. So you know that I love y'all, family, but the time is now for us to stand up in our true power. Don't say that you can't, because you can. And let's go and let's grow. Before we go, man, let us yell it out to the universe. Just let me be great. Because we seeking greatness in everything we do. You know that I love y'all, family, and I'm here for you. And let's go and let's grow.